Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Gold Gas here with another episode of Plumbing 101. This episode is going to show you how to refill or top up the pressure or repressurize your boiler. I'm going to show you a couple of types in this video, types of different filling loops, the Worcester keyway as well, and also the ones underneath the boilers. Pressure will just drop in the system. If there is air in it, it will get bled out of the air vent and the pressure will drop. Also, if there's a leak, check the radiator valves and radiators and ceilings and anything that looks suspicious. And also the boiler may be losing pressure through the pressure relief valve if the vessel is not charged. If you want to know how to charge up an expansion vessel, there's another video on my channel. If you enjoy, please drop a like, and if you want to see more service bits and gas works, be sure to subscribe and check out my channel. So if you have a pressure gauge on your boiler, then you will definitely have a filling loop somewhere on the system. Sometimes they're under the boiler, immediately under on the jig, sometimes they're on the pipework under it, sometimes they're above, they can be anywhere. As long as it links the cold mains to your central heating system, it will fill it up. You want to look at the gauge while you're filling it up, and you want to take it to about between 1 and 1.5 when it's cold. Depending if your vessel has charge or not, it's probably best to pull it on the lower side, on the 1. So if in doubt, get a heating engineer out. Once you've found the filling loop, you want to make sure the hose is connected properly. So give it a little push with your finger or your hand, make sure they're tight on there, otherwise you get a bit of water come at you. When you turn these knobs, it's not uncommon for the valves to actually drip a bit when they're on. So don't worry too much, it's only if they drip when they're off that you need to get them changed. Right, you want to turn these valves one at a time. Turn one to begin with, and then get your hand on the second while looking at the pressure gauge. You don't want to go too high. So then turn that second one slowly, watching the gauge as it goes up. The gauge might not go up straight away, and it might have a little bit of debris in it. It might just take a little while to react. Might be worth giving it a little flick on the actual gauge cover, then it might move a little bit more. Make sure you turn the valves off, make sure they're fully off after, and if the hose was off when you found it, best remove that as well. It's good practice that the engineer should have left caps to cap the ends of the valves so it doesn't drip onto the floor or carpet or anything like that. That way as well, it doesn't let by and push the pressure up on the heating system as well with the hose disconnected. So with the filling loop under the boiler, integral to the jig, again, same principle with the other valves, just turn them one at a time, locate them both, find the one that's harder to get and turn that one on first, and then have your hand on the easier to get to one and watch the gauge and turn slowly. Once you're up to the green or 1 bar, then you can turn them both off fully. The Worcester key, and the Valence also have a key, will be on the casing. So underneath there is a drip tray, and usually the key is in there. If the key isn't in there, it might be on top of the boiler or with your installation manual perhaps, or some people have it in their drawer. If you haven't, they are readily available off the shelf at most plumbers merchants, but you will need that key. So once you have the key, if you have a little bit of grease, if not, then just wet the rubber O-rings and that will make it easier to push into the manifold. Underneath the black manifold with a hole in, it has a padlock, 2 padlocks, one's unlocked, one's locked. You want to line the arrow up so it's going into the unlocked padlock part. Push it up so the arrow is nice and flush with the black plastic. Then turn it till it's in the locked position, so the arrow should be pointing the locked padlock. Then there's a little white block. turn that anti-clockwise and that will let the water into the boiler. Do this slowly in case the key isn't pushed in properly. If it isn't, just try again with the process I've said. Just make sure the O-rings are wet or greased up so you can push it in a bit more. If you are having trouble, please leave it to a professional. Once the boiler has the right amount of pressure, again go for the 1 bar. Then you can remove that key. So turn off the water fully, turn that white block clockwise, and then you want to turn that key so it's on the unlock padlock and then pull it out. It might take a little bit of force and you will get a few drips. So just have some blue roll or a bit of kitchen roll or towel just to mop that up. It won't be much at all. When you're finished, put that key back where you found it, or even better, put it in the rightful place in that drip tray. If the drip tray is missing, then I find just best on top of the boiler, and then just let the customer know. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If there's anything in particular you want to see, put it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching.